Welcome to Q&ASMR. Hello, I'm glad you can make it. These questions are brought to me by listeners like you. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy. This question comes from Delta Chief 777. Can you list out all the different archetypes in Yu-Gi-Oh? Okay, yeah, sure. Before this very long list, let's talk a little bit about what an archetype is in Yu-Gi-Oh! The term archetype is actually an invention of the community rather than the designers of the game. It is used to group cards together that share a naming string in their name or their effect text. Specifically, the game tends to use the Japanese text to identify whether cards are grouped together. Konami does sometimes refer to cards as a set or a series, but these also don't have any in-game effect or definition, so we'll just keep using archetype. So, because this is a fan-made definition, I'll be using Yugipedia's archetypes category for most of this. It is in alphabetical order, so that's mostly how I'll go, but I will group archetypes with their sub-archetypes. Another made-up term, these are archetypes that have the same string as another archetype, but add something to it to make it more specific. It's a little like squares and rectangles. All elemental heroes are heroes, but not all heroes are elemental heroes. Similarly, some archetypes have support spells and traps that share their own naming convention, which technically makes them their own archetype, but I won't list those separately unless the difference is significant. Alright, without further ado, /assault mode, @ignister, I, or AI, Abyss actor and its sub-archetypes, Abyss costume and Abyss script, Abyss, Emancipator, Aesir, Alien, Alligator, Allure Queen, Ally of Justice, Altergeist, Amazement and the Attraction Traps, Amazoness, Amorphage, Ancient Gear, Ancient Warriors, Apophis, Appliancer, Aquajet, Aqua Actress and the Aquarium Spells, Arcanaforce, Archfiend, Argo Stars, Armed Dragon, Aroma, Artifact, Archmage, Ascent, Atalantean, Azamina, BES, Bamboo Sword, Barbaros, Barian and its sub-archetype, Battle Guard, Batteryman, Battle Wasp, Batlin Boxer, Bee Trooper, Blackluster Soldier, Blackwing and its sub-archetypes, Assault Blackwing and Blackwing Tamer, Blaze Accelerator, Blue Tears, Blue Eyes, Bonding, Boral, Bouncer, Branded, Boojin, Burning Abyss, Buster Blader and its sub-archetype, Destruction Sword, Butterfly and its sub-archetype, Butter Spy, Bestial, C and its sub-archetypes, Number C and CXYZ, Celtic Guard, Centurion and its sub-archetype, Emblema, Chaos, Charmer, Chemicritter, Chimera, Chronomaly, Cipher, Clear, Clear Wing, Cloudian, Code Talker, Code Breaker, Constellar, Counter, Crusadia, Crystal and its sub-archetypes, Crystal Beast, Advanced Crystal Beast, Ultimate Crystal, and Rainbow Bridge, Crystron, Cubic, Cyber and its sub-archetypes, Cybernetic, Cyber Dragon, Cyber Dark, and Cyber Angel, and its sub-archetype, Machine Angel, Cynet, the two different dimension archetypes, DD and DD, and the sub-archetypes DDD, Dark Contract, and Doom King, Danger, Dark Magician and its sub-archetype, Dark Magician Girl, Dark Scorpion, Dark World, Dark Lord, Despot, Despia, Diabel and its sub-archetype, Diabel Star, Dynamist, Dynamorphia, Dino Wrestler, Jin, Dog, Dogmatica, Doll Monster, Dominus, Doodle Beast, Doomsy, Draco Slayer, Draco Tail, Drake Overlord, Dragon Ruler, Dragon Maid, Dragunity, Dream Mirror, Drytron, Dual Avatar, Duston, Earthbound, and its sub-archetypes, Earthbound Immortal and Earthbound Servant, Ecclesia, Edge Imp, Egyptian God, Elder Entity, Eldritch and its sub-archetypes Eldelixir and Golden Land, Elemental Lord, Empowered Warrior and its sub-archetype Aether, Endymion, Enneacraft, Evil Eye, the group of Evil Twin, Live Twin, Lilla, and Kissakill, the Evil archetype of Evil Soar, Evil Tile, and Evil Czar, Evolution Pill, Exod, Exodia, Exosister, Eyes Restrict, FA, Fabled, Favorite, Fiendsmith, Fire Fist, and the semi-related Fire Formation, Fire King and its subarchetype Fire King Avatar, Firewall, Fishborg, Flamvel, Fluwandereeze, Flower Cardian, Fluffle, Forbidden, Forbidden One, Fortress Whale, Fortune Fairy, Fortune Lady, Fossil, Frightfur, Frog, Fur Hire, Fusion and its subarchetype Fusion Dragon, Gigolem, Gadget, Gaia the Fierce Knight, Galaxy and its subarchetype Galaxy Eyes, and its subarchetype Galaxy Eyes Dragon, Gandora, Gate Guardian, Gear Gaia and its subarchetype Gear Gaiano, Gem and its subarchetype Gem Knight, Generator, Genex and its subarchetype Argenex, Ghostrick, Goatee or Fish if you're in on the joke, Gishki and its subarchetype Aquamirror, Gladiator and its subarchetype Gladiator Beast, Goblin and its subarchetype Goblin Biker, Gold Pride, Gorgonic, Gothams, Goki, Goyo, Gravekeepers and its subarchetype Necro Valley, Gradle, Guardian and its subarchetype Skull Guardian, Gunkan, also known as Suship, Gusto, Hand, Harpy, Hazy and its subarchetype Hazy Flame, Heart, Heka Hands, Helios, Heraldic and its subarchetypes Heraldic Beast and Heraldry, Hero and its many subarchetypes Destiny Hero, Elemental Hero, Evil Hero, Vision Hero, Extra Hero, and Masked Hero and its subarchetype Change, Heroic and its subarchetypes Heroic Challenger and Heroic Champion, Hieratic, Whole, Horus and its subarchetype Horus the Black Flame Dragon, Hunder, Ice Barrier, Ice Jade, Ignite, Incantation, Infernity, Infernoid, Infinitrack, Inmato, Invoked, Inzector, Iron Chain, Jinzo, Junk, Jurak, K9, Kaiju, Kairyu Shin, Karakuri, Kashtira, Killer Toon, Nightmare, Kawaki Meru, Koala, Cosmo, Crawler, Karibo and its subarchetype Winged Karibo, Labyrinth, Labyrinth Wall, Lady of Lament, Laval, Legendary Dragon, Legendary Knight, Libromancer, Lightsworn, L-Swarm, which contains Evil Swarm and Steel Swarm, and their subarchetype Infestation, Lunalite, LV or Level, Lyrilusk, Machina, Madolce, Magical Musket, Magician, Magician Girl, Magicy, Magistus, Magnet Warrior and its subarchetype Magna Warrior, Magispector, Majestic, Malefic, Malisphurus, Malice, Manadium, Marincess, Materiactor, Mathmech, Mayakashi, Megalith, Mech Knight, Mech Lord, which includes Mech Lord Army, Mech Lord Astro, and Mech Lord Emperor, Melfi, Melodious and its subarchetypes Melodious Maestra and Melodious Songstress, Memento, Mermail, Metalfoes, Metalmorph, Metaphys, Mikanko, Millennium, Mimigul, Mist Valley, Mitsurugi, Moki Moki, Monarch, Morganite, Morphtronic, Molcharmy, Mystical Beast of the Forest, Mutant, Naturia, Necros, Nemesis, Nemlaria, Neospatian and Neospace, and their subarchetype Chrysalis, Neos, Nephthys, Nimble, Ninja and its sub-archetype Ninjutsu Art, Nitro, Noble Arms and Noble Knight, with their sub-archetypes In for Noble Arms, In for Noble Knight, Ortorgus, Lounsalon, and Roland, Nordic and its many sub-archetypes Nordic Alfar, Nordic Ascendant, Nordic Beast, and Nordic Relic, Nouvelle and their recipes, Number and its many sub-archetypes, Number C, Number 10x, Number C10x, Number C39, Number S, and 7th, Numeronius, Odd Eyes, Ogdoadic, Ojama, Old Entity, Onomat and the related sounds, Do-Do-Do, Ga-Ga-Ga, Go-Go-Go, and Zubaba, Orcust, Outer Entity, Punk, Paleozoic, Palladium, Parshath, Pendulum and its sub-archetypes Pendulum Dragon and Pendulum Graph, Penguin, Perform Age, Perform a Pal, Phantasm, Phantasm Spiral, Phantom Beast and its sub-archetype Mecha Phantom Beast, Phantom Knights and its sub-archetype The Phantom Knights, Photon, Plunger Patrol, Polymerization, Possessed and its sub-archetype Familiar Possessed, Potan, Power Patron, Power Tool, Prank Kids, Predap and its sub-archetype Predaplant, Prediction Princess, Primite, Psyframe and its sub-archetype Psyframe Gear, Puppet and its sub-archetype Gimmick Puppet, Pearly, Klee and its sub-archetype Apocryphort, RB, Ra, Radiant Typhoon, Ragnaraka, Raid Raptor, Rank Up Magic, Reactor, Rebellion, Red, which contains both Red Dragon Archfiend and Red Eyes, Regenesis, Relinquished, Reptilian, Rescue Ace, Resonator, Rika, Ritual Beast and its sub-archetypes Ritual Beast Tamer, Ritual Beast Ulti, and Spiritual Beast, Roid and its sub-archetypes Speedroid, High Speedroid, and Vehicroid, Rocket, Rose and its sub-archetype Rose Dragon, Runic, Ryuge, Ryzeal, S-Force, Saber, which contains both Element Saber and X-Saber, Salamandra, Salamangrate, Sangan, Scareclaw, Scrap, Sea Stealth, Cirquet, Shadal, Shark and its sub-archetype Shark Drake, Shiranui, Silent Magician, Silent Swordsman, Simorg, Sinful Spoils, Six Samurai and its sub-archetypes Secret Six Samurai, Six Strike, and Shien, Sky Striker and its sub-archetype Sky Striker Ace, Sky Blaster, Slime, Smile, Snake Eye, Sulfacord and its sub-archetype Grand Sulfacord, Spellbook and its sub-archetype Prophecy, Sphere, Sphinx, Spirit Message, Sprite, Springhans, Spiral and its sub-archetypes Spiral Gear and Spiral Mission, Star Seraph, Stardust, Starry Night, Subterror and its sub-archetype Subterror Behemoth, the Sun archetypes of Sun Avalon, Sunseed, and Sunvine, Super Defense Robot, Super Quant and its sub-archetypes Super Quantal Mech Beast and Super Quantum, Super Heavy Samurai and its sub-archetype Super Heavy Samurai Soul, Supreme King and its sub-archetypes Supreme King Gate and Supreme King Dragon, Sword Soul, Sylvan, Symphonic Warrior, Synchro and its sub-archetype Synchro Dragon, Synchron, TG, Tachyon, Tearlaments, Teleport, Teller Knight and its sub-archetype Stellar Knight, Tenbai Dragon, Tenyi, The Agent and its sub-archetype Hyperion, The Weather, Therion, Thunder Dragon, Time Thief, Time Lord, Tindangle, Tistina, Toon, Topologic, Toy, Trap Hole, Trap Tricks, Tri Brigade, Triamid, Trickstar, True Draco, UA, Umbral Horror, Unchained and their sub-archetype Unchained Soul, Ursarctic, Utopic and its sub-archetypes Utopia and Utopic Future, Valmonica, Valkyrie, Vampire, Vanquished Soul, Valance, Veda, Vendred, Venom and its sub-archetype Starving Venom, Vernisylph, Virtual World and its sub-archetype Virtual World Gate, Visas, Voiceless Voice, Void, Volcanic, Vylon, Warrior, Watt, Wedju, White and its sub-archetype White Aura, White Forest, Windup, Wind Witch, Witchcrafter, World Chalice, World Legacy, Worm, XYZ and its sub-archetypes, Armored XYZ, CXYZ and XYZ Dragon, Yangzing, Yosenju, Yubel, Yummy, Zephra, Zexel, Zodiac, ZS, and ZW. Holy moly, that was a lot. Thanks for that question. Our next question comes from the P. How many different sizes of bed are there? A lot. Much, much more than I ever anticipated. Sort of. See, each country has its own measurements for each different size of bed that they sell. However, most places use the same or very similar terminology to refer to these sizes. So a king bed is a different size in the UK than it is in the US or India or Australia, but they all still have a king size. And because the US loves excess, we have the most different sizes and names of sizes of any nation or territory. Most of these names are also used elsewhere in the world, usually for different measurements. So I'll start with that list and then add on a few extra names at the end that the US isn't using for whatever reason. The US's smallest available size is the crib. Only slightly larger than that is the junior. Next up from there is what I would call the smallest adult-sized beds. Cot, small single, or small twin. Slightly larger than that is a special category, antique single or antique twin. Next is the first quote-unquote standard bed size in America, the single or twin size. Slightly wider is the single XL or twin XL. And even more wider is the single double XL or twin double XL. Next up from there is the 3/4 or antique double size. Our next standard size, the double or full size bed. And of course the slightly wider double XL or full XL. Next up from there, the queen size bed. This is followed by the California queen. After that is the Super Queen or Olympic Queen or Expanded Queen. Our final two standard sizes are the King and its larger counterpart, the California King. Pretty much everything larger than the California King just adds new locations to the king size. Up from there is the Super King, Grand King, Athletic King or Texas King size. That's all one category, by the way. Up from there is the Florida King, which is surpassed by the Wyoming King, which is surpassed by the Alberta King or Alaskan Queen size, which is surpassed by the Alaskan King size bed, the largest bed available for purchase as far as I could find. The US also has some specialty sizing that is used in specific places. The half queen or split queen and the half California King or split California King for adjustable beds where each half adjusts independently. The short queen or RV queen and the short king or RV king for beds found in recreational vehicles and campers. Waterbeds also get their own measurements of single waterbed, super single waterbed, queen waterbed, and king waterbed. Finally, there are also 3 sizes of family bed, which are designed for use by more than 2 people. The medium family bed, the large family bed, and the XL family bed. Beyond these terms, there are still a few more descriptors that other places use when talking about their bed sizes. They are, in no particular order, the 4-foot, young, long single, large single, king single, king long, small double, wide double, semi-double, and double large. I will also give special mention to Italy's naming convention, which uses a term translated to place for all their sizes. So they've got a 1 place, a 1.5 place, and a 2 place bed, but they also have a French 1.5 place, which I thought was kind of funny. Their sizing, like most places, also has names, and the 2 they have that are unique to them are the matrimonial bed and the priest's bed sizes. That was fun. Thanks for that great question. This question comes to us from Brian. How many different captains are there in the Star Trek series? That's a great question. I've not seen any Star Trek, though I am familiar with some of the captains, Kirk and Picard in particular. I know there are 4 or 5 other series set in that universe, so that's at least 4 or 5 more captains to add to the list. My best guess is that any season of the show has 1 or 2 side characters that are captains of other ships in Starfleet for the audience to compare with the main characters. So let's see if we can find a list of all the known captains, and we can just count them. Okay, so wow, there are a lot more captains in Starfleet than I would have first guessed. The best, most complete list I could find subdivided itself by century rather than by show or movie or what have you. This made counting a little difficult as a non-Trekkie, since some characters served as captains across multiple shows spanning the turn of the century. By my count, there are approximately 232 different Starfleet captains shown or mentioned across all of Star Trek's history, at least as of October 2025 when I originally researched this. A couple of fun notes that I found while going through this. Most members of the original Star Trek crew have, at one time or another, been captains. The era with the most captains is the 24th century, which is the Enterprise era of shows. Many of its captains are only mentioned in passing or are subtle on-screen references. Captain Douglas Adams of the USS Heart of Gold, for example, is a reference to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Thank you for that engaging question. Thank you again to Delta Chief 777, The P, and Brian. If you would like to have your question answered in a video, leave it in a comment below this one. If you would prefer to ask your question a little more privately, you can email me your question at questionsandasmr@gmail.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more questions like these every week. Thanks again for listening. Goodbye for now.